And what a week on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average hitting 10,000 for the first time in a year. But of course, the Dow closing below that level in Friday's session. Even with the declines on Friday, we still had a winning week. Take a look at the numbers. You saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average gaining 1.3% for the week. The S&P up 1.5%. The NASDAQ up less than 1%. And the year-to-date numbers looking pretty good as well. Take a look at them. The Dow up almost 14%. The S&P up 20%. And the NASDAQ, of course, it's been the clear winner all year, up 36%, or at least since March 9th. Energy stocks by far the biggest gainers this week after crude oil climbed to a one-year high and has been higher for 7 straight trading days. Even more significant, when you look at the technicals, crude oil has been trading in the $65 to $75 range since March, but we broke out of that trading range on Thursday, maintained that upward momentum with crude oil closing out Friday's session, $78.51 a barrel. And remember, the thinking is if the economy is doing well, then there's more demand for oil. But some of these refiners that were lower in Friday's session, they really they got a bump up on Thursday because of that. They actually got an upgrade at Morgan Stanley. And as for the rest of the market, it has been all about the earnings. GE lower in Friday's session after reporting $1.9 billion less revenue than analysts forecast. Remember, earlier in the week, Intel's earnings really kind of getting the juices flowing for the market. But AMD giving a similar outlook like Intel with their earnings that came out on Thursday after the close, but the stock lower in Friday's session. Google, however, hitting a 52-week high on Friday after CEO Eric Schmidt said the worst of the recession has passed and the company is now more focused on acquisitions. We also saw disappointment in the financials. Financials, the biggest drag for the week with Citigroup and Goldman Sachs earnings on Thursday. Then, of course, in Friday's session, Bank of America releasing earnings and reporting a $1 billion loss. And you probably guessed it, more earnings on the way for Monday. We have several bellwethers reporting earnings. Apple, Texas Instruments reporting their earnings after the close of trading, while BB&T and Hasbro report before the opening bell.